What's going on, y'all? This is Chris Saunders, aka CSProductions.29, and tonight we are going to check out Abandoned by Unprocessed. So we checked out Real by Unprocessed, and I'm going to do this especially whenever I do multiple videos at the same time. I'm only going to do one or two reactions by the same artist because if we don't get to listen to the song together, have the conversation, I don't want to have too many overlapping questions, as I'm sure each song is unique, and there will be some things within each band that I want to have the conversation with you all that come up. So this is going to be the last recording of a song or reaction by Unprocessed before releasing it, so that we can have a conversation to any of the questions that come up or came up from Real, as well as come up from Abandoned. So I'm excited about this one. Unprocessed, they were dope. I'm curious to find out even more about them. From what I've seen in the comments below, it seems like they're an instrumental band, fall in line with that Polyphia, math rock kind of style, but they've also transitioned from a different style. I forget what was mentioned, if it was more like prog metal back in the day. So let's check out Abandoned by Unprocessed. I like that. So one thing I'm going to note here, obviously he recorded this in the studio, but he's still playing. I'm assuming he wrote this portion, and Manuel, knows the guitar lick, right? Doing this while walking for this video would be crazy difficult. Just pointing that out. Hey, okay. Hey, you can hear that fat bass in the background.
An ancient warmth under the horizon, giving signs of lights a solid rising. I knew the light would come to be. I never thought it would complete me. The words I speak will feed disease. Fragments of old scriptures will shape new belief. Pretended tears past time. Abandoned souls inside a blaze.
I really like, what is that, the synth or piano in the background right there? Playing kind of like the space loop sounding, I think. I really like that. So is this song from back in the day? So I think I was right. Someone mentioned that they used to be a little bit heavier or kind of prog metal. This sounds like prog metal, I think. Let me know in the comments down below. It sounds kind of like it falls within that prog metal kind of category. And so when did this song come out? Was this from one of their earlier releases? I feel bad. So I like the growls here. I like the growls here. You can tell there's been some studio work. I'd be curious if everything would be this tight in a live performance, but I like the growls here. I was gonna say earlier, the vocals, it kind of reminded me, I haven't listened to this song in years, so I could be completely way off, but for whatever reason, whenever Manuel started singing and there was kind of the studio magic, studio work in his voice, it kind of sounded, or it reminded me of the song The Red by Chevelle, like way back in the day. But I'm also kind of disappointed right now just because I haven't listened to metalcore or post-hardcore or heavier music in so long. My ears been a little bit out of tune and untrained to hearing growls really well. So I'm gonna look up the lyrics right now so I can track with Manuel and follow everything he said. So what's he talking about there? I miss, it's such a shame. I missed the rain that would have taken me far away. A last glance at those lights, I knew I could be moved. And the way the dynamics are building up here, I'm assuming he's gonna come in with the growls here on this next line. I don't know, but it just kind of feels like if things are opening up for it to come back hard. But what's he talking about there? Let me know in the comments down below.
Such a shame, I missed the rain that would have taken me far away. A last glance at those lines, I knew that this age was doomed.
Hey, I like that. Okay. That's nice. I love that. Hey, this is hot. Let's go. Got the pick in mount so I can really get my slap on the bass. Time out. Okay, now we'll take a timeout, but I'm gonna go back. So really interesting. I personally really like how that song ended, but I also feel like which they probably thought about, I think they could have gone either way. That ending that they just did, which was super groovy, and I just loved how it was like soft, open, and it wasn't like an in-your-face technical guitar solo lick, really solo. It was more of just like a smooth, groovy lick that was kind of soft, but like really nicely put together. And then everybody kind of got a little bit of a piece of it. Really like that bass line there. Then also, if they wanted to, really feel like they could have come back in and hit hard with the growls vocals, maybe repeated that chorus, and then gone back to exit the song just from a dynamic standpoint. But what I'm gonna go back here, let's see if I can catch it. It's with this guy. So we're gonna pause here. I was like, time out. What kind of guitar is this? How many strings does he have? Look at the, I'm blanking on the name, but the knobs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he's got an 8-string electric guitar. Okay, interesting. So there were 2 other things that came to mind listening to this song. One, on just the drums. This is kind of just overall and in general. I really love the way, like, well manicured, tuned, and produced drum sound, especially that snare within this song. It's just tight. There's not a lot of bounce and reflex on the snare. It hits and it hits and then it's like dissipates. And I really like how tight the drums are tuned and just mixed and processed there. But then also, if you've never played in a band or played an instrument, at least for me, one thing I think is challenging that they were able to figure out well is there are 3 really talented guitarists here. And so I think it can be difficult for a band to have that many instruments of the same instrument to really blend and mesh and work together without getting too chaotic and too noisy. And so I thought that was really interesting because, at least from what I'm seeing, they have 3 electric guitarists playing, whereas in a band you may have, like, if you have 3 guitarists, someone on an acoustic guitar, 2 electric guitarists, one doing rhythm and lead, and that's how you kind of break up. But here you have 3 electric guitarists, and so I thought they did a really nice job of creating the dynamics of the song and everybody flowing without it being too chaotic, too noisy, people trying to, overpower each other. So I thought that was a really cool job that they did there. So that was Abandoned by Unprocessed. I really like that song. I'm not one of those people, as like I've showed my sisters and even my mom's songs at the time where there's growls, and everybody's always that doesn't or hasn't listened or appreciate that style of vocals are like, oh, why are they screaming at me? Which personally that would just bug me. I'm like, oh, the growls. I love the just the low growls and just the vocals overall. And so I thought this was a really cool song. It had a lot of different dynamics, and so I'm curious to check out more by Unprocessed. And then also, again, if you could let me know, is this one of their earlier songs and tracks? And if so, what's kind of the change that they've made over time? So, not to get too long-winded, that was Abandoned by Unprocessed. I thank you for the suggestion. Great song. I loved it. I thought that was a really good track. So be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Help me out with some of the comments, as well as questions in the comment section down below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a video in the future. I appreciate it. Thanks.